Welcome back to another episode of Learn with Shavern. So, in today's episode, we are going to talk about how to find your true love, right? It's really interesting because this topic I noticed has come up quite often from a few interactions that I've had with people. A lot of people I realize are in search for love, feeling love, wanting to be loved. I know I mentioned in my first episode that that's the whole reason why we're even born, right? To be loved. The reason why we exist is to experience true love. What does that look like? Well, first let's talk about how we get there before we talk about what it looks like. How to truly achieve true love into your life is merely by loving yourself first. And do not misconstrue loving yourself first for being selfish, conceited, or egotistical, or even narcissistic. That's not what true love is. When you go through alone time and you truly find yourself and know yourself and understand aspects of yourself that you know once improved will take you to the next level, that's it for you, right? That's you loving yourself. When you can identify that there's a flaw within you, as much as we all like to think that we're special, and as much as we all like to think that, we're awesome and amazing, we are in our own ways, but we all are too flawed, even myself. And identifying those flaws are key to achieving the level of success that is limitless. Working on yourself. Part of the reasoning, I aim to do these videos every day. However, I have life and YouTube at this current moment doesn't pay the bills, neither does Patreon. So I have to love myself because my conscious mind is aware that there are things that must remain consistent in order to contribute to my own individual success, right? So that is my self-love, and self-care is very important. Not neglecting any part of myself, mentally, physically, or spiritually. Okay, I'm always feeding my spirit knowledge and praying to God and meditating to hear the messages that God has to send to me. Exercising daily, that's my self-care with my body. Doing yoga. I don't go to the gym or do any intensive exercise, right? Eating healthy, eating clean, right? Not eating any processed stuff because I don't want to process mind. And feeding my mind knowledge. Your brain is a tool that if you don't use it, you lose it. The things that you know are all that you're going to know if you don't decide to learn more. Okay, it's pretty simple. So part of that, all of that actually all ties into self-care and taking care of yourself. Now, that is the how. That's how you love yourself unconditionally, by caring for yourself and creating boundaries and saying, you know what, it's okay that thing is not for me. It's okay that person is not for me. It's okay that situation is not for me, and being accepting of that. And not trying to change it. Acceptance is a really key tool to love, because anything that you truly love, you will accept it for how it is. You will not try to change it. That is the true definition of unconditional love. A child loves their parent unconditionally with their flaws and all, merely because they have not been conditioned with the social constructs to understand how the flaws affect them. But you want to work on that. The best way to achieve true love is to truly love yourself first, to love yourself unconditionally. That serenity prayer in the Christian Bible, the first two lines of it, where it says, God grant me the serenity to accept the things that I cannot change and the courage to change the things that I can. Right now, what I'm telling you guys is to be courageous. If you want to change your circumstance, you must first change yourself. You must first change how you think about things, and then everything else will fall into place. But do not get stuck upstairs. You must enact those things outside too. Okay, thought alone without action is just a dream. So you want to achieve those things within yourself by loving you, loving yourself unconditionally with your flaws. If you decide that you want to go to the next level, then you work on your flaws. If you know that there's something within you that don't accept your, it's really weird, right? Because a lot of people condition themselves to accept things about themselves but want to change the world. That's backwards, right? You have to accept the world and everybody in it for who and how they are. And the thing that you can change is you. You can change how you respond to the world. You can change if there is a part of your personality that is not serving your higher self. You can change those things. Other people, you can't change them. Places, you can't change those things. They're already there. They're already fixed objects, right? You cannot change those things, but you can change you. You want to learn true unconditional love? You're looking for that person in your life that you're like, man, I just want to be in a partnership. I really just want a husband. I really just want a wife. I really just want somebody to love me. Well, if you don't love you, how you expect somebody else to? Don't think that somebody doesn't love you because they identify a flaw in you and you're not willing to change it. Right? You can't, you're attracting the negative things in your life because there's negative aspects of yourself that you're still holding on to. You're still holding on to that hurt that maybe your parents did to you. You're still holding on to that hurt that ex did to you. You're still holding on to those hurts. You have to let those things go. Accept them. Say, okay, I understand, maybe my parents weren't rich and they couldn't hand me down money or whatever the case may be. But you know what? I am an adult now, and it is up to me to change those circumstances. And if God had it in my plan to make it difficult for me to achieve the same type of wealth that I see others with, then that was my divine plan for me. And accepting that. That's probably the hardest pill for, I think, a lot of people to accept is their current situation. Accepting your current situation is the first step to changing it. Okay? Identify what brought you to this place to begin with. That's your key to it. Identifying that maybe there are flaws that are holding you in this circle, this perpetuating circle that you can't get out of. Maybe there are flaws there that you need to identify and visit and really do some introspection, some real internal deep work to figure out how to achieve that true level of happiness within yourself. Don't just accept it. Don't just say, oh man, I'm impatient. That's just the way that I am. People know this about me. They know to move right away because I'm an impatient person. They know that I don't get down like that. Okay, but then when things don't necessarily work in your favor with that type of mentality, then what are you going to say? The universe and God doesn't need to understand that you're impatient. God created you. Why should God care about this aspect of yourself? You're a peon in a star amongst stars, right? You want to identify those flaws, and if that's one of them, then you want to embrace that there's a lot of peace that comes with patience. There's a lot of relief that comes with learning to be patient. If maybe expressing yourself is a flaw, maybe people tell you all the time that, oh, why didn't you tell me this or why didn't you tell me that? Maybe expression, how you communicate with people, is something you want to work on. Maybe that is an aspect of yourself that you want to strengthen in order to be complete. Anything that you have identified and please be mindful of a flaw in comparison to something about yourself that you're actually unhappy with. Okay? People are unhappy with their 3D. A lot of people are unhappy with their 3D, and they try to force themselves to accept their 3D without accepting themselves internally. I can look as gorgeous as I want on the outside, but if I'm ugly internally, that is all people will truly see, no matter how nice I look in a Photoshop photo, right? So, and with social media nowadays, to be process to be fake is the new wave right now. But that's why we have so many lost people out here at the same time, right? So I hope this video resonates with you guys. Again, love yourself unconditionally because you're amazing, you're awesome, you deserve the best. And you absolutely should tell yourself that and look within to identify anything outside that you deem needs correction. Because the first step is acceptance. So peace and blessings, family. Have a positive, powerful, productive day.